with domestic with domestic abuse, there's always some sort of like violence as well. Okay, well, I'll expand on that a little bit later, but according to Vagiana's 2015 from HuffingtonPost.com, about 85% of domestic abuse victims are women and the other 15% are men. Personally, I have known a few people who have been through domestic abuse, so this topic is very dear to me, I guess you can say, which is why I kind of want to encourage you guys to raise awareness for the issue. So some of the things I'm going to be talking about are why it's important, why it's so difficult for victims of domestic abuse to escape, what you can do to help, and how your actions can impact their life in a positive manner. Okay, so domestic abuse is a pattern of behavior in which one person uses violence or other forms of abuse to take down another. This occurs in a domestic setting such as a marriage or other type of relationship. And to answer the first question, according to helpguide.org 2017, when people think of domestic abuse, they oftentimes focus on the violence part of it. However, people oftentimes do use other techniques such as fear, guilting, and shaming their partner in order to take complete control over them. Domestic abuse is one of the most unreported crimes worldwide by both men and women, which is why we should care so strongly about it. And it is statistically proven that either your parent, your sibling, or your child will experience domestic abuse at some point in their life, even if you haven't, which is kind of sad. So I'm going to talk about first why it's so difficult for victims of domestic abuse to escape. According to domesticviolenceroundtable.org 2008, it takes time for the leaving process to actually happen due to emotional and situational reasons. Some of the emotional would be fear that their partner will kill them if they try to report the abuse that is going on, lack of emotional support, and kind of blaming themselves for the abuse that is taking place. They kind of feel like it's all their fault. So those are some of the emotional reasons. Some of the situational reasons would be they're fearful that if they do leave, they're going to start to self-harm themselves or their children, which they don't want to do, as well as lack of job skills and alternative housing. So now that I've talked about why it's so difficult for victims of domestic abuse to escape, I'm going to talk about what you guys can do to help. So although there are some resources out there such as hotlines and shelters, victims of domestic abuse are oftentimes too afraid, embarrassed, or ashamed to seek help by themselves. So that's why I couldn't stress enough that we reach out to them. Reaching out to them can provide relief and reassuring them that what they're going through is not their fault, and telling them that they deserve better can provide an emotional outlet that is well needed. So according to verywell.com 2016, Buddy T offers some suggestions on how you can reach out to a victim of domestic abuse. And the first thing he says is to listen without judgment. Let the victim vent all their feelings and fears to you, and keep in mind that you may be one of the first people that they are opening up to. Second, he suggests that you believe the victim. And again, just assure them and remind them that nothing is their fault and that they can, there is a way for them to escape. They don't have to stay in this relationship. And then finally, he suggests that you offer specific help because, like I said before, they at times are too scared or too afraid to call by themselves. So by giving them specific phone numbers, counselors, or support groups, you are opening up that door for them to take even small steps help. So take small steps for them to escape this abuse. So now that I've talked about what you can do, I'm going to talk about how your actions can affect the lives of a victim. And I'm mainly going to focus on this woman. Her name is Taz Thornton. She was a victim of domestic abuse, and according to ClimbTheRainbow.com 2009, she had gone through this for many years, and one of her friends, one day just saw this major change. Everybody else was kind of oblivious to it, but her one friend did see it, and so she decided to reach out to her and Taz shared with her some of the things that were going on. So together they wrote down ideas, they formed a plan, and overall helped Taz gain courage to escape, mainly through the use of her blog that she created. It was one of her major ways to get through this. She began to see personality change as well as become more friendly and always saw herself with a smile. She also achieved personal goals, began to work out regularly, became a vegan, and graduated from a university as valedictorian. So she is kind of a good role model to those who are still going through this, which is why I chose her. And through this, I just think that I'd hope that it would encourage you guys to do so, because one friend taking a small action did help her get through this. So yeah, with that being said, I just want to remind you guys that domestic abuse doesn't always have to include domestic violence. And yeah, so I hope you guys, if you guys are interested, there's a documentary called Private Violence, and you can see that on HBO.
All right, very good.